Imagine two men starting from the same place in life. They earn the same income, down to the very last cent. They work the same long hours, pouring their energy into their careers. They even live in the same bustling city, walking the same crowded streets. Yet, as the years pass, their paths diverge dramatically. One builds a fortress of financial freedom, creating a legacy of wealth. The other finds himself trapped in a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. What separates them? It's not a matter of effort. It is not a roll of the dice or a stroke of luck. The profound difference lies in their mindset. This is a secret to prosperity that ancient Babylon discovered thousands of years ago, a timeless wisdom we are about to unlock. In the heart of ancient Babylon, a city whose very name was synonymous with gold and grandeur, a quiet desperation simmered beneath the surface of its splendor. The towering ziggurats scraped the heavens, and the hanging gardens were a wonder of the world. Yet for many, this opulence was a world away. While merchants in the bustling bazaars thrived and the king's coffers swelled to bursting, a vast number of hard-working citizens remained trapped in a cycle of poverty. They were the builders, the weavers, the farmers, the very hands that built the city's glory. Day after day, they watched immense wealth flow past them, as untouchable and distant as the stars, a constant, glittering reminder of a life they could see but never grasp. So, when a group of these men, their faces etched with years of toil and worry, finally stood before ARKAD, the richest man in all of Babylon, they came with a single burning hope. This was a pilgrimage born of last resort. They had heard the whispers in the marketplace, the legends of how ARKAD'S gold seemed to multiply on its own. They didn't come seeking charity, they came seeking a key. In their minds, he had to possess some extraordinary secret, a hidden map to a lost treasure, a magical charm that bent fortune to his will, or perhaps the favor of a forgotten god who unlocked the gates to endless prosperity. They believed wealth was a game of chance, and ARKAD, they were certain, knew how to cheat. What they received instead was something far more profound and, at first, deeply disappointing. ARKAD offered no shortcuts, no mystical incantations, no secret handshakes. He simply spoke, and in his words, he offered them a truth so powerful it could reshape their entire existence. That wealth wasn't a prize to be found, or a treasure to be won. It was a system to be built, brick by brick, with the tools they already possessed, within their own minds. He taught them that the foundation of fortune is not laid with gold, but with discipline and understanding. You see, ARKAD'S story did not begin in a palace. He had once been as poor, if not poorer, than the very men who now sought his counsel. His journey started in the dusty workshops of the city, where he toiled for long hours as a humble scribe, etching records onto clay tablets for a few coins a day, barely enough to survive. What separated him from the thousands of others who shared his fate was not a sudden windfall of gold or an inheritance from a wealthy relative. It was a single, transformative piece of wisdom, a profound understanding he acquired through a simple apprenticeship that cost him nothing but his time and an open mind. Through this mentorship, he learned the fundamental law of wealth. That money could be a willing and tireless servant, working for you day and night, or it could be a cruel and fleeting master, always demanding more and slipping through your fingers. This was the pivotal lesson that turned his meager earnings from a source of daily survival into the foundation for an empire of wealth. It was a universal principle, a secret available to all, yet understood and practiced by only a few. This was the wisdom ARKAD was now ready to share. ARKAD began his lesson by explaining a simple yet profound observation about the people of Babylon. For most, he said, money was treated as a fleeting visitor. It was something to be spent, a temporary relief from the toil of their labor. They saw their earnings not as a tool for the future, but as an immediate escape from the present. This mindset created a relentless cycle: earn, spend, and return to work with empty pockets, their wealth disappearing as quickly as the setting sun. The joy of a new purchase was a brief spark, quickly extinguished by the reality of an empty purse. Their purses were never full for long, because they viewed money as something that must be given away for goods and pleasures, rather than something to be kept and nurtured. They were trapped, not by chains of iron, but by their own desires and the mistaken belief that wealth was measured by what one could spend, not by what one could keep. But ARKAD, through careful observation and a disciplined mind, learned to see money differently. He rejected the common view. He watched the richest men in the city and saw that they did not live this way. They were not the most lavish spenders. Instead, they were the most deliberate keepers. He understood that this cycle of scarcity was not a law of nature, but a result of a flawed perspective. It was a habit of thought, a tradition of poverty passed down through generations. ARKAD realized that true financial freedom wasn't about earning more, but about thinking differently. He decided to break the cycle, to forge a new path not with a stronger back, but with a sharper mind. To him, money was a servant, not a master. It was not a tyrant to be obeyed, or a prize to be consumed, but a diligent worker to be commanded. Where others felt the desperate need to spend, ARKAD felt the powerful opportunity to employ. He saw each coin not as a final destination for his labor, but as the beginning of a new journey. It was a potential employee, ready to work for him, to venture out and bring back companions. This shift in perspective was everything. It transformed the act of earning from a chore into an opportunity, and the act of saving from a sacrifice into an investment in his own freedom. Every single coin, no matter how small, was given a job. It was assigned a purpose. Every decision had a future attached to it. A portion was set aside, untouchable, a foundation for his growing fortune. This was the famous, "Part of all you earn is yours to keep." Another portion was put to work, perhaps lent to a shield maker to buy more bronze, returning with a small profit, or invested with a trader embarking on a voyage to a distant land. Each coin became a seed, planted in the fertile ground of commerce, destined to grow into a tree of wealth. He learned to manage his employees, ensuring they were sent to wise masters who would treat them well and return them with their children, the interest and profits. He was no longer just a scribe, he was a general, marshaling his forces.
While others asked, "How much can I spend?"
ARKAD asked a fundamentally different question, a question that changed everything. How much can I keep working for me? This was the true lesson. It wasn't about hoarding gold in a chest, but about deploying it in the marketplace. It was about transforming his income from a consumable good into a productive asset. His wealth wasn't just a pile of metal, it was a living, breathing system, a river of gold that he had diverted, creating a stream that flowed towards him, rather than away. This system, once established, required not toil, but wisdom, not back-breaking labor, but careful judgment. He was building an army of golden servants, each one working tirelessly, day and night, to bring back even more. Each new coin earned was a new soldier recruited to the cause. Each profit returned was a reinforcement, strengthening his financial fortress. This is the secret that turned ARKAD, the humble scribe, into the richest man in Babylon. Not magic, not luck, but a simple, powerful shift in understanding. Your money should work for you, harder and more tirelessly than you could ever work for it. The wealthy think in systems. The poor think in moments. One asks, "What do I want now?" The other asks, "What will this cost me later?" Babylon was filled with people who earned well, but never kept anything. ARKAD became wealthy by reversing that instinct. Today, nothing has changed. Many people earn more than ever, yet save nothing, invest nothing, build nothing. The wealthy aren't smarter, they are more disciplined. They delay pleasure, they plan ahead, they give money instructions, and money obeys. In the next episode, ARKAD reveals the 7 rules that built wealth in Babylon, rules money still follows today. Because true wealth doesn't begin with income. It begins with how you think.